Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste, and welcome to Part 2, Subject 4, which I have reduced to 4 verses. The title of this subject is The Spiritual Master is in Disciplic Succession. So before we begin, let's ask the question, what is disciplic succession? The Vedas enjoin us to seek out a guru. Actually, they say to seek out the guru, not just a guru. The guru who comes in disciplic succession from the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. If the spiritual master is completely dovetailed with Krishna, then there is no difference between the instructions of Krishna and the instructions of the spiritual master. What Krishna taught 5,000 years ago is therefore being taught right now. The spiritual master is a disciple who received knowledge from his spiritual master. He realized that knowledge and passed it on to others without changing the message. Thus, the message spoken by Krishna is passed down intact. This is a bona fide disciplic succession. We can see so many examples of supposedly spiritual gurus who were not in disciplic succession from the Supreme Lord and who thus made up their own teachings. Let's give an example. The infamous Rajneesh of the 70s and 80s. He did not have a spiritual master in any disciplic succession. In fact, he rejected all disciplines and spiritual systems. Instead, he attributed his spiritual realizations to when he was 21 years old, when he had a mystical experience while sitting under a tree in a garden. He earned his MA in philosophy and became a lecturer at university, and he travelled India giving lectures, and his message was that India needed capitalism and modern technology. Indian religions were empty and dead. Of course, he gained a huge following, including many wealthy businessmen. They liked his message. He then added meditation to his talks and published a book on the subject, From Sex to Superconsciousness, which brought him even more followers. He then began to initiate disciples, and he called them neo-sannyasins, completely made up, in which they wore orange robes, beads, and carried a picture of him in a locket. He promoted free sex and orgies at his ashrams, and so the story continued with his rise to international fame and fortune and his life of unauthorized, crooked teachings. It brings to mind in the Bible, in Matthew 16:26, when he wrote, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his very self?" If any of his disciples had have checked what he was saying and doing, and what was being spoken by Krishna and all the great sages, then they would not have been cheated. But the cheater cheats those who want to be cheated. The cheater and the cheated. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he describes in the summary for the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1 the authoritative disciplic succession of the contemporary spiritual masters in the Brahma Sampradaya. He wrote, "The direct disciple of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was Narottam Das Thakur, who accepted Vishwanath Chakravarti as his disciple. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur accepted Jagannath Das Babaji, the spiritual master of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who in turn accepted Gorakishore Das Babaji, the spiritual master of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj, the divine master of our humble self." That was Srila Bhaktivedanta's words. So this is disciplic succession. Let us now look at just the 4 verses that I've chosen from the many that are found in the Vedas. In the purport of the Srimad Bhagavatam 8:16-24, it is written, "The Guru does not manufacture a new process to instruct the disciple. The disciple receives from the Guru an authorized process received by the Guru from his Guru. This is called the system of disciplic succession. This is the bona fide Vedic system of receiving the process of devotional service by which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased. Therefore, to approach a bona fide guru or spiritual master is essential. The bona fide spiritual master is he who has received the mercy of his guru, who in turn is bona fide because he has received the mercy of his guru. This is called the parampara system. Unless one follows this parampara system, the mantra one receives will be chanted for no purpose. Nowadays there are so many rascal gurus who manufacture their mantras as a process for material advancement, not spiritual advancement. Still, the mantra cannot be successful if it is manufactured. Mantras and the process of devotional service have special power, provided they are received from the authorized person. The next is a purport in the Bhagavad Gita 4:42. A bona fide spiritual master is in the disciplic succession from time eternal, and he does not deviate at all from the instructions of the Supreme Lord as they were imparted millions of years ago to the Sun God, from whom the instructions of Bhagavad Gita have come down to the earthly kingdom. One should therefore follow the path of Bhagavad Gita as it is expressed in the Gita itself, and beware of self-interested people after personal aggrandizement who deviate others from the actual path. In the teachings of Lord Kapila, a bona fide guru does not impart some self-styled, concocted knowledge. His knowledge is standard and received from the parampara system. He is also firmly fixed in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are his 2 qualifications. He must have heard the Vedic knowledge through disciplic succession, and he must be established in service to the Supreme Lord. He does not have to be a very learned scholar, but he must have heard from the proper authority. And the 4th one from the Krishna book. The bona fide spiritual master is he who knows the science of devotional service in disciplic succession. The prime symptom of one who has become a spiritual master in disciplic succession is that he is 100% fixed in bhakti yoga. So I've only included 4 verses on this subject, but it's a great segue into the next subject that we'll be talking about, cheating gurus. And that I've included many scriptural quotes because this is actually a very big problem. So until the following subject lesson, Namaste.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama